Aaliyah, thank you for your expert advice and knowledge through this boot camp. We will now turn the session over to Valerie Cofield, our President and CEO, for the 2020 annual meeting.
Thank you, Brittany, and thank you, Aaliyah. This was such great information, and as many of you know, I'm always looking for things that will improve my delivery of service to you, but also my personal presentation of self. One of the things that's important to note is Aaliyah and I met at a mentoring, probably one of the last face-to-face events that I was able to do. At a mentoring event, we were introduced by one of her mutual colleagues and a mutual colleague, friend, and former classmate of mine. And I was doing my Facebook Live, and it was like, I couldn't get back to the office to do the Facebook Live, so I needed to do it on location. And she was there helping with the technical, get me in the background, make sure that I was saying the right thing, well framed. And from there, we formed a bond and a working and business relationship. And then she became an EMSDC certified business this year. So look what can happen when we make the right connections at the right time. Thank you, Aaliyah. I really enjoyed your presentation, and I think I will be signing up for your boot camp come January. Thank you very much. So with that, we're going to move into the business of EMSDC and move into our annual meeting. I want to say welcome to everyone. I want to thank you all for taking time out of your day to join me. I'm getting ready to share my screen to join EMSDC and to participate in our annual meeting. I think that this is the theme of the year. When life gives you lemons, you salt the rim and you pour, because this certainly has been a year. As I said, welcome to our 2020 annual meeting. It has been a year where we've had to learn how to pivot in the most unusual and extreme circumstances. But I think that when you look at our theme for 2020, it was leveraging technology to create connectivity. And so when you think about that, we came into 2020 with a lens towards technology, a lens towards making a very large footprint that is EMSDC smaller by using technology. Who knew? Who could have forecasted that, you know, by March of 2020, we would be fully virtual and relying on all of this intuitive energy to deliver on programming for the entire network. So I'm very, very thankful to our team. And with that, I'm going to introduce you to the EMSDC team. I think it's really important. Many people connect with me at EMSDC, but it's really important that you know the entire team. I always say it's great to get to know me. It's more important that you get to know everyone else, because I can really I can really become the dam in the middle of a great flow if you just depend on me to get things done. But because I am surrounded with such a fantastic group of people who are passionate and committed to working with you all, if you have a secondary, a tertiary, a team of others that you're relying on, EMSDC can become a resource like no other. So I'd like to introduce you to Aaliyah Bunch, Tracina Cash. Many of you know Jan Fleischner because of certification, or Darius Hurst Rodney because of recertification. Meg Markley is our technical expert behind the scenes. We just put Brittany out in front, and she said she had a fear that if this went well, that this would not be the last time she gets to be out in front, and she's absolutely right. So you will be seeing more of Brittany. And of course, we all know Miss Christine, who is the wind beneath my wings. In addition to Team EMSDC, we have our MBEIC, that's our Minority Business Input Committee, and we have 7 members of the MBEIC, led by Reshma Morthy, who is the MBEIC Chair and President and CEO of Frontier Technologies. Joel Burstein is the MBEIC Western PA Vice Chair. Bonnie Dawood is the MBEIC Central PA Vice Chair. Paul Douglas is our member at large, as is Dennis Garrett, David Grooms, and Malik Shaw is our MBEIC secretary. I want to take some time to introduce you to our board of directors because they are the steering committee, the steering behind the EMSDC. And so with this is our executive team led by Booker Faria, who is our chairman, Bernice Lewis, who is our vice chair, Tasha Y. Brown, who is our treasurer, and Reshma Morthy, who is chair of the MBEIC. I'd like to introduce you to the other members of our board, and I'm very excited not only about the diversity of the board from the standpoint of industries and companies, but also in terms of representation of ethnicity, of women, of LGBTQ, of veterans. We literally represent what EMSDC is about. And so this is our board of directors, and I'm very excited to have them all joining us. So as I said, we started 2020 with a theme of leveraging technology to create connectivity. And this theme was critically important because it allowed us to begin to use virtual programming as a supplement to face-to-face gathering. This was critical because there were some events that we were replicating in multiple locations at great expense, but not with great turnout. And what we found was by going virtual, we were able to reach more people, we were more efficient in our delivery, and we could replicate certain content on a regular basis that was of value to our membership. And that is really critical to making sure that we are a source of a positive resource to you as a organization. So if you look at 2020, and it's, once we quantified it, once we really measured it, it's quite impressive. We delivered 72 virtual events with roughly 2,500 or a little over 2,500 attendees, averaging, I would say, between 40 and 50 attendees per event, which is pretty good when you take it outside of our signature events. We produced 34 weekly newsletters, our Open for Business, and I'm not sure how many of you have had an opportunity to, or who look regularly at Open for Business, but Open for Business was specifically designed to bring the barrage, to consolidate the barrage of information that was coming through, particularly as we went into remote working environments. It was intended to sensitize and present a central location for you to gather information, but also to keep you up to date. In the beginning, the Open for Business would include a video communication from me. We also included some videos from others. After a while, I know that we're all screen fatigued, so we moved to different types of content so that we constantly renewed our Open for Business. And as we go into 2021, you will see another refresh. We opened up our virtual matchmaking portal. I don't know how many of you are a part of the Yammer community, but I know we're up to close to 300 members in Yammer. And Yammer is, again, a secondary space where, number one, you can communicate, you can find out about programs, events, content, any important newsworthy information that you may need, access to funding, grants, new programming that's coming from corporate America. All of that can be found in our Yammer page. In response to the high demand for the PPE, we opened up our MBE to MBE marketplace. And that was really designed to create an environment for businesses that were providing PPE and corporates that had a demand for PPE to connect. What we have before us now is an opportunity to move into a diverse marketplace that will not be a listserv, but actually be a portal environment where MBEs will list and put their products or commodities into the portal, and corporates can go in on site, much like, I don't want to use the word Amazon, but much like a a global marketplace, go in and purchase through P-card, purchase order, credit card, directly from the MBE. So we're very excited. We'll be rolling out the diverse marketplace in 2021, early first quarter 2021. In partnership with the SR MSDC, we were a part of two major campaigns. The first one was the 1% Shift Challenge. I'm not sure how many have participated, but I would encourage you to think about how you're spending your money. And if you just take 1% of your spend, whether it's a corporate spend or personal spend, and utilize it in your local community, it recirculates back in that community 1.5 times. And that's the kind of impact that we need right now. We need to be supporting local businesses, diverse businesses. And through that 1% Shift Challenge, we were also able to feature many of our businesses that were in our communities that were supporting not only the supply chain, but also the consumer. And so we were very excited about the 1% Shift. It was a challenge that we accepted from the Southern Region Minority Supplier Development Council. And we've been very, very pleased with how things are proceeding. We ourselves are very conscious of how we are spending our dollars. EMSDC is committed to not only being an advocate for diverse businesses, but also making sure that we are recirculating our dollars back into the communities of diverse businesses as well. The second joint venture that SR-MSDC and EMSDC did together was the Stand Together Safely campaign. Stand Together Safely is a campaign that was focused in on addressing the aftermath of the social and civil unrest that happened in late May and early June. We really wanted to focus in on those businesses that had been negatively impacted by the social and civil unrest. And what that is it's small dollar grants. They're not big grants, but they're small dollar grants that are available to our MBEs that are seeking support in anything from, securing their storefronts to getting legal services or paying insurance premiums, whatever whatever the need is. If you are an MBE and you have been impacted by that social and or civil unrest, there are small dollar grants available through EMSDC to support you. And so we're very proud. To date, we've probably awarded about 6. It's not a large number, but what we know is that we wanted to do something to give back to our MBEs and to the local communities. And finally, I think one of the most impactful pieces of one of the most impactful initiatives that we have started is really focused in on young people. And it's the Kickback podcast. It is spearheaded by Darius Hurst Rodney and Kira Cofield. And it is really targeted at the young adult community. It's targeted at current and future entrepreneurs. It's targeted at high school students who are looking to their next, to their career path and what their next opportunities may be. And it was really a place for these young people to come together and talk about how the current state is affecting them. And so we're very excited that the Kickback podcast is being supported by one of our MBEs. And we are going to continue, EMSDC is going to continue to come around that brand, but we're going to bring it out from under the banner of EMSDC and allow it to be its own brand, but still affiliated with the council, because we think that the work of the podcast is so important and the audience that it's reaching is so central to our future that if we seed it and we help it grow, the impact will be immeasurable. So we're very, very excited about the Kickback podcast. So as we said, the virtual matchmaking portal launched in March. I talked about the Yammer community, and I also talked about the MBE to MBE marketplace. One of the other things that we're very, very, very excited about is the growth in the number of new MBEs that EMSDC has. As you can see, from 2018 to from 2018 to 2020, we've seen almost 100 new MBEs in terms of retention and new businesses. But the actual number is that we have welcomed 171 new MBEs to EMSDC in 2020. And so we're very excited about that. This is the camera roll for all of the MBEs that have joined us. We want to say welcome and congratulations to all of you. What we want to do now that you have become certified is help you by creating opportunities to retain you. In addition to our new MBEs, we are welcoming 16 new corporate members. Some of our corporate members have been around for a number of years, supporting the council without necessarily being members. Some are members that have come about as a result of mergers and acquisitions and then splits. Some are, they called up looking to do a project, and suddenly there was a suggestion that they become a corporate member and they thought it was a great idea. So we're very, very excited about the diversity of the new members that we have. So we want to welcome Aerotech and Bimbo Bakeries, which for those who don't know who Bimbo Bakeries is, it's probably in your house right now. It's either Intamans or Stromans. You know, I'm sure all of us have partaken. Church and Dwight. You know, when I found it out, when I was introduced to Church and Dwight, I didn't know, I couldn't place it. I was like, Church and Dwight. And then I saw the logo and I'm like, oh, Arm & Hammer. And so a lot of times we don't realize that the brands that we use every day are also a part of our membership. Corteva, which is a part of the Dow DuPont merger. And so they're also one of our newest board members, as is Aerotech, Duquesne Light, Essentials Utilities, which is a merger of Aqua Water and People's Gas. And so we're very excited to have them join. Fastenal, Giant Eagle is a returning member. GoFundMe called about a project, and the next thing you know, they're now a new member and a national member, but because they joined through EMSDC, we get to claim them. So I'm very excited about this. Image One, the municipality of Norristown, I want us all to wrap around them. They're trying to stand up their supplier diversity program, and they're being very intentional about engaging with diverse businesses. They're small, but we want to wrap around them and have them, give them great success. Penn National Gaming. Penske is absolutely our newest member. They joined last week, so welcome to Penske. The Bank Corp, the Judge Group, and UGI. I want to thank all of you for joining and congratulate you. As I've spoken to many of you directly, EMSDC is here to support you as you stand up your programs. We want to be more than a listserv. We want you to have intentional relationships with the MBEs that you're seeking to do business with. So welcome and thank you for being a part of our network. I also want to acknowledge our collaborators, our presenters. We had so many. We put on 72 new events, or over 70 new events this year. And this was done in collaboration with a number of organizations, and we tapped into the subject matter experts inside of the council. And so we're very, very fortunate to have had collaborations with many of our advocacy partners in the region. And as you can see, there's just an illustrious list of companies that or organizations that we've been able to partner with. And we're very thankful for this, and we look forward to continuing it. One that I want to draw particular attention to is the Southern Region MSDC. Al Williams and I, Al and Val, we're a team. And they're a team of ours. We work seamlessly together. We both joke that because of our collaboration, we were able to double the size of our staff. Our staff came together and worked as an integrated team, fully integrated, and we were able to deliver programming during Pivot Week that we delivered together. And then we moved into May and did a series of Pivot events, out of which the the Kickback podcast grew. And so I am very, very excited about that partnership, and I'm pleased to announce that in 2021, we will have Pivot Week again. So we're very excited about continuing that. But it also set the stage for future collaborations with other councils across the network. And you will see going into 2021 that we have at least 2 planned collaborations in addition to the one with SRMSDC. I also want to draw attention to the collaboration that EMSDC has with the Business Center. Many have heard about it sort of in passing, but not in depth. But going into 2021, EMSDC and the Business Center, and I really want to say the Business Center and EMSDC, will be launching its Innovation and Advanced Manufacturing Center. It will be virtual at first, with a plan to bring on a full-fledged facility that is focused in on small batch manufacturing with an intentionality around minorities and women in underserved communities. And so you'll be hearing more about this. I know a number of our corporate members have already had conversations and are, and have thrown their support behind the Innovation and Manufacturing Center in terms of subject matter experts and even guidance in how we can make this the most robust offering to businesses in this space. So we're very excited about that partnership with the Business Center. So as we look to 2021 and beyond, we focus in 3 main areas: engage, connect, and grow. So as we kick off the year, we start an Amazon Marketplace Business Series that will be in January. I already talked about our Pivot Week with the SRMSDC, and then we have our Planned Choice Awards at the end of the year on December 3rd. Our annual meeting in 2021 will be on December 9th. We will have Live with EMSDC, which used to be Facebook Live with me. We're moving it to Live with EMSDC. We're coming off of the Facebook platform and moving into casting from YouTube or another virtual platform. I'll be having that conversation with Aaliyah and seeing what her recommendations are. We're also bringing online a Women of Color Leaders Network. I'm very excited about this network. And if you can see over my shoulder, I have several books behind me that are all from the EMSDC network, published by the women in our network. And so I'm very excited about that Leaders Network. There are 2 that are missing. There's a book by Tasha Y. Brown, our board treasurer, that's not up here, but the next time you see it, it will be up there. And there's also a book by Renee. I'm apologizing, Renee, but she's also a former board member. I can't remember her name. I'm having a Valerie moment. It's done, but I will make sure that that book is up there. Galloway, thank you, Paula. That's the assist that's the beauty of virtual. You do get those assists, but Renee Galloway, she's a former board member, and she wrote an amazing book called Done. And we used to give that book out to our MBEs when we would do the certifications. And so those 2 books are not behind me, but I'm very, very excited about launching this Women of Colors Leaders Network. In addition, Aaliyah mentioned the refreshing of websites. So EMSDC is in the middle of a major refresh to our website. What's most exciting about this refresh is, number one, the way that content will be carried on the website. You'll be able to register for events on the website. You'll also have access to various learning platforms on the website. The MBEIC will have a dedicated page where content and programming will be available through their page, in addition to, of course, certification, upcoming programs and events, our media center. So we're very excited. We're working with a diverse business on this refresh, and it will be ready in the first quarter of 2021. Coming up on January 12th is the MBEIC webinar, and on January 13th is our Super Matchmaker. So on January 12th will be the MBEIC webinar and the MBE to MBE Matchmaker. So we always talk about, MBEs come and they want to engage with our corporate members. And one of the things that we know that's critically important is that your next opportunity may be to your left or right, and it may not be a corporate member. And so what we want to do is create an environment for MBEs to come together and figure out what product, services, or solutions their fellow entrepreneurs have that they can support, collaborate with, and or buy. And so we want to make sure that when we do the webinar with the MBIC, we follow it up with a matchmaker. On January 13th is our super matchmaker. And I'm going to talk more in depth about that right now, because this is the matchmaker that we tried to deliver through ROAR. We tried to turn ROAR into an industry matchmaker over a series of days. And unfortunately, it didn't work. And I had to call an audible because the platform was not ready to support us in the way that would deliver value and without frustration to our end users. And I just wasn't comfortable pushing that out into the marketplace. And so we called an audible, and we decided we would continue to work with the technology company, but we would work with them to address the challenges that we are having, so that when it's time to push out our event, it is seamless and it is a value add to everyone who is participating. I, however, want to thank our healthcare forum that we hosted on September 30th. That forum was excellent. It was extremely insightful. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback about it. The part that was difficult was the matchmaker. And so before we continued with that challenge, we wanted to perfect it. So we have pushed it to January 13th. We're asking all of our corporate members to please sign up to register, for our MBEs to register, so that we can really have robust engagement. Because in this virtual environment, what we know is that it is harder to make connections. And so we need to create as many opportunities as possible for you to come together. And so you will be getting information in the next couple of weeks about registering for the matchmakers on both January 12th and January 13th. We encourage everyone to please join us. We're trying to manage the push out of information over the next couple of weeks, because we have a few events going on, and we just want to give everybody time to manage through. Beyond that, it is our prayer that by June we will be able to come together, even if it's somewhat socially distanced. And so we figured the first face-to-face event that we would push for would be golf. And it'll be golf, it'll be networking, it will just be an opportunity to be outside, some fresh air, and just to connect. And so we are looking to host one of 2 golf events in June. We will have Share Harrisburg. We will get with the committee. We've put a date on the calendar. This is a calendar date to hold the space. We will talk to the committee to confirm, and we will decide based on the current events, whether or not this is going to be a virtual or a live event. We will tell you that we had great success with Share Harrisburg virtual. And so I'm sure that we will revisit how we deliver our 2021 event. Going forward, as I said, we'll have the second of our 2 golf events in July. ROAR 2021, it is our desire that it be live. And so if it is live, we will host it September 15th and 16th. Share Pittsburgh is in October. We are also rolling out 2 new apps/portals, an internship portal, which will synthesize potential or talent for our MBEs and corporate members. We're going to be working with historically Black colleges and universities, as well as local colleges and universities, to identify candidates for the internship portal. And it will be a clearinghouse for recruitment of college students and graduates for our MBEs and corporate members. We are also working on a new app. What we want to do is have a space. We're all oriented to tablets or phones. And so we want to have an app that will allow you to have at your fingertip access to EMSDC. And so, you know, when we look at grow, you know, we will continue with our programming around your certified what's next. We will continue with our Secure Your Bag series, which is really around financial services, literacy, and planning. We have a couple of growth series that we're doing jointly with corporates and other councils. The first is a COE, Centers of Excellence program, with the EMSDC in the Southern California. It says SR, but it's Southern California, MSDC and Aramark. So we're excited about that. We're also working with on a utility accelerator that will roll out in 2021. Exelon is our partner and initial funder on this, but it is specifically for the utility industry. And so we'll be welcoming all of our utility partners into this accelerator program. And then finally, we are very much laser focused on industry development programming, because what we recognize is there's high demand for specific industry support, although we'll always have a lens towards the generalist opportunities. I want to leave you with this. December 11th at 7 p.m., we will be hosting our Choice Awards, but it's different this year because it's a movie. It will not be a live event. It will be a movie. You will receive a link to that movie. Oh, we are live for real, because I thought I muted the phone. We will be hosting a movie. You're going to get a link to join the movie. We asked you to come in at 7 o'clock. There'll be opportunity for networking in the chat. We'll have a mixologist, and then we'll roll you into what we think will be a very enjoyable experience. We've done some filming over the course of the last week or so, and so we're looking forward to you joining us on December 11th at 7 p.m. for Choice Awards, the movie. Now, there are those who have already registered, and there was an incentive that if you registered by December 1st, and you were one of the first 100 registrants, you would get a gift. Well, we are, I'm calling another audible. I know Christine probably has her hands in her head right now, and I can't see her, so I'm in good shape. But I'm going to extend it to 150, and you have to register by tomorrow. So you can register for the Choice Awards. I know that someone will put the link in the chat, but please register for the Choice Awards by tomorrow. I'm extending it to 150 registrants. If you do it by tomorrow, you have to attend. Like, I don't want you to register for the gift and not attend. I really want you to attend because we're very excited about the movie. A lot of hard work went into delivering something that's slightly different. We can have watch parties if you want to around the movie. I did it for Hamilton. I'm open to doing a Zoom watch party, but please join us on December 11th for the Choice Awards movie. I also want to finally thank all of our sponsors. As you can see, EMSDC has had a bounty of support throughout this year. As we go into 2021, it's hard to believe that we're there already. We cannot do that without thanking all of our sponsors. These are people and companies that have stuck with EMSDC throughout the year, have picked up the phone and said, how can we help? How can we stay engaged? There are many who are listed that, you know, have been financial supporters, but there are others that we just have to thank for the support that you've given us, either as a presenter, as a subject matter expert, as a collaborator. I want to thank This Life Forever. I'm not sure how many of you know Russell, but Russell has a company called This Life Forever, and he has he's the sponsor of the podcast. He has been a supporter of EMSDC as an MBE. I have to thank E&E and LaFada. I get in trouble by thanking a lot of individuals, but some of these personal thank yous are because these are people that picked up the phone. I have to thank Joel, who's made a number of introductions to corporate. Joel Burstein from Keep It Simple, for the introductions that he's made. And all of you know, I'm working on a white paper right now with Dennis Garrett. And so there's so many that have shown enormous generosity to EMSDC. And if I didn't call your name, it's not because I am not thankful for you. I am thankful for every one of you, and you know this. The work that we do is important, and what you've proven and what this year has proven is that it matters more than ever, and that we have to continue to stay focused on the things that will drive the needle and have genuine impact. What we know is that at the end of Dr. King's life, when he was assassinated, in fact, the civil rights movement had shifted to a social justice movement. He was in Memphis with his Poor People's Campaign, representing the garbage workers' strike. What we know is there is no social justice without economic justice. EMSDC, NMSDC were born out of the civil rights movement, and they were born to address the disparities of economic justice that were impacting the social disparities inside of communities of color. There are disparities in healthcare and access to food and education, and they can all be tied back into quality of life. They can all be tied back to the disparities in economic justice. Addressing those disparities is the work of EMSDC, and the support that we get from our MBEs, from our corporate members, from our sponsors, from those who stand with us, our collaborators, is critical to ensuring that we continue the mission of advancing opportunities for diverse businesses and tackling the issue of economic injustice. I want to thank all of you personally. I want to thank my team and my board of directors for staying laser focused on this mission. This doesn't happen in a silo or in a vacuum. Every organization that we partner with, every organization that is out here advocating on behalf of MBEs, whether they're in partnership with EMSDC or not, they are important, they matter, they make a difference. I encourage all of you to support them because we do this together. There is much work to be done. What 2020 has shown us is that it's only the beginning. We were asleep at the wheel, and that 2021 is our opportunity to reset and regenerate that which we have lost. I thank you all. I wish you all bountiful times. I wish you all good health. I prayerfully ask you to wear a mask, if not for yourself, for someone else, to socially distance, and to do your part in eradicating this pandemic. I thank you again. And if there are any questions, I am here to answer them. No questions. Yay, no questions. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you. TCGI wrote a blog on economic justice and Martin Luther King. Denise, can you send that to me, please? Thank you, Aaliyah. Thank you. Thank you, Sue. I want to thank all of our corporate members and new MBEs for joining. This is your first introduction to EMSDC, so thank you for taking this time today to join us. Eric, thank you. Hey, Ken. Hey, Nick. Nick Nichols is joining us. Wow, that's a lot of pressure, Nick. I'm glad you stayed in the background. Michelle and Bernard and Anika, thank you very much. Thanks, Dennis. No questions. I love the lauding. I love the thank you for saying it was great. No questions. Do you have any questions? Is there something that you're looking for from EMSDC? Thank you, Doris. Somebody throw me a hardball question. Thank you, Philip and Byron. Nikki. Staff, give me a ringer question so I can answer something hard for someone. What am I looking forward to most in 2021? Seeing all of you face to face. I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to most. I miss the personal face to face contact. How to reset and regenerate. I don't know. I'm working on that. What is the biggest thing keeping me up at night right now? I think the biggest thing pressing me right now is ensuring that we have adequate funding going into 2021. We've had a number of partners make pledges, so we're in good shape. But it is, not knowing whether or not we're going to be virtual or face-to-face for most of next year. It's making sure that, number one, we're funded properly and that we can deliver value programming that helps to grow our businesses. I saw a question from Michelle. You're looking for a list of MBE selling products to consumers for Christmas, Valentine's, etc. Okay, so you see this. So Michelle Morin at Corteva is looking for a list of MBE selling products to consumers for Christmas and Valentine's, etc. to put in front of her 10,000 plus employees. If you have a consumer product, please share it with EMSDC, myself, Brittany, Christine, Meg, Jan, Darius, Aaliyah, Tracina, and we will put together a list for you, Michelle. Where do we find out more about the matchmaking? Philip, we're going to send out some information in the next couple of days, so you'll find out information about the matchmaking program. Will the diverse marketplace platform connect with e-procurement systems like Coupa? Yes, that is the plan. That is the plan, is that there will be interface so that the e-procurement systems that corporates use can communicate with the diverse marketplace. Yes. Sharon, were you on the? I think you were on yesterday's presentation, and we talked about that. Do we have access to a national list of corporate members? Yes. That's Michelle Ellison. If you contact our office, we can make that information available to you. Adrian, all right. I'm trying to read the chat. Brittany, help me out. It has been an informative, thank you. This is your first month of certification. Well, we want you to stay on. If you have any questions, know that any member of the team is here to help you. One of the things that we didn't roll out in 2020 because of having to pivot so quickly is we were launching a Mbe Liaison Initiative. We are revisiting that to see how we can actually roll it out for 2021. So Adrian Lawler, we look forward to working with you. What is your company's name, Adrian? Oh, yes, Corporate Boot Camp. Thank you, Tracina. We are working on a corporate boot camp. We have a number of new corporate members that have new programs. And so the corporate boot camp will be a combination of a refresh for existing boot camps around best practices and other strategies to stand up strong programs, as well as support to those businesses that are standing up their programs for the first time and looking for that behind the curtain insight into how you create a strong program. We are rolling that out in the first quarter of 2021. Thank you, Adrian. I did not mention registered and listed. I didn't mention registered and listed because most of the businesses on here are certified, but registered and listed are for those businesses that are not quite ready to be certified or may not be supply chain facing, but want to be engaged with the council because we have programs and services that are of interest and value to them. And so by becoming a registered or listed business through EMSDC, you have access to our programs and events. There is opportunity for you to participate in Matchmakers. When we have the learning platform, you will have access to the learning platform. Registered, or for those businesses that just want to be, or for businesses where we do a cursory pre-certification review, but we do not do the full certification review. And listed is for any business that wants to be listed that is minority owned as part of the council's registry. And you will get a designation of registered or listed. If you pay a fee for registered or listed, that fee, should you decide to become certified, will be applied to your certification fees. Another thing, again, most are certified on this call, but if you are not, on this webinar, if you are not a certified business currently, we have grant dollars available for any business seeking certification that may have some hardship and need assistance in paying for their certification fees. All new Class 1 certifications are at a reduced rate, and this is for Class 1. And if you are an existing business, and please everyone don't call me and say that you're having trouble, but if you are one of our currently certified businesses, and again, your business is in a situation where you need support in renewing your certification and its cost that is preventing you from doing that, please reach out to us and we will work with you to ensure that certification is not a barrier to you securing business. Why have you not mentioned that makes what makes EMSDC so great? I don't know, Tracina, you might want to pop on and tell us that, because I'm not sure. I just think you guys make us great. But we do have opportunities, again, for that certifying of Class 1 businesses. Well, with that, in the words of one of my favorite people, I'm going to let you reclaim some of your time and get you back to your day. I want to thank you for joining EMSDC today for this annual meeting. I look forward to seeing everyone next week at our Choice Awards. Remember, the Choice Awards is December 11th at 7 p.m. Look for the link. You get the link if you register. And a copy of, or a video of this, the recording of today's meeting will be made available directly and on our YouTube channel. Thank you all. Have a very safe, healthy, happy holiday season and new year. My prayer is that we all go into it renewed, stronger, and better. Thank you very much.